Okay. Okay, now, let me get my paper out too. Okay. In here. Oh, well, the new computer technology is wonderful. Get a lot of stuff on the computer. But,
Oh, yeah, I've got one.
well, I need to ask, well, why don't we start with your grandparents?
I never knew any.
You didn't know any of them?
No.
Do you know the names? Their
They
names?
were, Dad was born in Germany.
Oh, your dad was born in Germany?
Yeah, Stuttgart.
How do you spell that now?
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart?
Stuttgart, maybe. That ought to be fairly close. And then you hit the search.
So your dad was Frank?
Frank L. Yeah.
Frank L?
Yeah.
What does the L stand for?
Leonard.
Leonard. Oh, okay.
Oh, and even the name has been variously spelled as Miller and Mueller.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we ever got to the MO, but I'm not sure which would be an official one in Europe. The oldest passport was lost, and when my sister Peg died, she had shown me in the previous months a dad's passport from a trip to Europe for the Loman Company in 1936 or so. Dad died in 38, and so it would have been 36 or so that he made this trip to Europe and brought back some souvenirs and so on. And what point was I making?
Wow, so your father...
I do know that I did hear somewhere, Mother maybe, that at one point Dad was Lutheran.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm not sure when he became Catholic, in Germany or after he got to the United States or when.
Now, did he meet your mother here?
I was a sophomore in high school, and I didn't get around to asking any of these
Yeah, isn't it
questions.
kind of, couldn't you just kick yourself for not asking all those questions, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why
Now, he met your mother here, though.
No, Mother, I can't even say the year offhand that Mother died. Something like 65 maybe.
Well, let me see, I got all sorts of stuff here. I've got some of it.
I know John.
61.
61. John was just a baby. We stopped on our way home from the hospital and showed Stella our newest arrival, and came on home. And so John must have been born in late 60 or early 61.
Wow.
But somebody around here has all these dates. I could get them for you eventually.
Oh, that'd be great.
Phone them over to you or something.
Okay, that would
Put
be
them in a note and send it to you.
Okay, that would be good too. Now, your mother's maiden name, what was that?
Crapo. Now, here's another spelling glitch. Is it E-A-U or O?
Yeah, I don't see what I have.
Sister Jean Crapo uses O.
Oh, here it is. C-R-E-P-E-A-U.
Well, that's one spelling of it. Sister Jean Crapo, a cousin of mine.
Oh, okay.
Stella's brother from Denver has a daughter, Jean, who's a Dominican nun in Chicago now.
Oh, okay.
And we visit a lot, but she signs her notes, letters, Crapo, C-R-A-P-O.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I suppose everybody's got, all sorts of.
Well, especially these foreign, and I'm not sure where mother's, she was basically French family, and I don't know, I suspect they came from Canada.
French Canadian? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would almost.
Which generation is a mystery to me also.
Okay, so you're not sure about your mom?
No. Sister Jean has a friend, Crapo has a friend that has done some of this research, and I could send some questions to her.
Oh, okay.
And get us some answers. You tell me what the questions are.
Well, yeah, if you want to find out like where she came, where the Crapos, if you know where they came from, I mean, there's some stuff, there's only so much stuff you can put on the computer. It's like, you still have to do a lot of, research and stuff.
Oh, and there's another name in the family, Bodecker. Bodecker.
No, where does that fit in?
I'm not. That might have been Stella's grandmother, because there were a couple of Bodecker girls lived in Chicago, Alice and Irene, and I suspect they were like cousins of Mother Stella.
Huh. Wow.
Where did they? I just ran into and going through the drawer, I ran into a framed picture. I have a picture of Stella. And I was thinking, she was a tiger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how old was your father? Couldn't have been that old when he died, was he?
No, I believe.
Well, he got
what I
1878 and died.
I calculated the decay.
40? Must have been 40 years old.
59.
59, okay. Oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah, he was about 20 when he came to this country. At about the turn of the century.
Okay.
1900, a year or two before, a year or two after, somewhere around
So he
there.
came around the 1900s.
Yeah, and
Did he come through Ellis Island,
No.
Oh, he didn't.
I heard.
See, my ancestors
Said he. Somewhere I heard in Boston. There was also a.
Yeah, there was
port
a
of
port in Boston.
And he didn't get there for the Tea Party, but
Okay.
about the turn of the century.
Wow. And then he met your mom here, I take it?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yeah, because I see that Paul's dad was born. Were you born in Chicago too?
No, all three of the kids, Frank, Mary, and Peg, were all born in Chicago. They were the gangsters. I was born in the St. City. Mother commented when they finally got to friends, so on, the party, we're going to St. Paul, Minnesota. St. Paul, Minnesota? Aren't you afraid of the Indians?
Oh, yeah. I suppose they all thought.
Well, no, I was born here in 22. Maybe they came here in about 1920.
Okay, what did your father do for a living? What did your father do for a living?
Oh, he worked for a couple of, the things I know about are the church goods stores. He worked for a church goods store in Milwaukee at one time, maybe 1910 or so. I'm placing it after the arrival in this country. And So he worked in there, and he made acquaintances with several church goods men. And eventually they decided that they would come to St. Paul and buy the Loman Company, which, what's the mortician down here on Snelling? I don't know, but it's an Irish name, I think. It started the company and then sold it to Loman, and Loman was going broke with it. And so these 4 or 5 men, Dad and Portner, who was my godfather, and Smith, Portner, Smith, Jake Kretsch, Nick Bowler. Nick Bowler, were the 5 men. I remember when at the wake, the Lomans had sent a floral, wake was at home in those days, or part of the wake was at home. They had sent a floral arrangement of a wheel. These things should get me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be asking all these questions for you and get you all upset.
Anyway, the wheel. Five spokes. What else?
Oh,
Yep. I don't like this. I don't like that. 5 spokes, 1 was missing. Frank and I continued to work. We were both, well, heck, I was a sophomore in high school, but I was spending part-time working down there, and I kept on working until I went on active duty. And somewhere along the line, Frank went to work for some other candle company, and Mother sold out just prior to World War II. As usual, there's misunderstanding and manipulation and all that sort of business junk goes on. And she decided it was better off. But Portner was my godfather, and Nick Bowler used to come by on Sundays and pick me up, go down to the athletic club swimming, and play around. We had fun. They were great guys, really.
So in other words, you never, like your grandparents, they were all over in the old country. You never
Well,
even
Dad's
met them.
parents were all in the old country.
Yeah.
He had a brother, I don't recall, not brother, nephew I think it was. He had 2 sisters, and this nephew was a monk in some order over there. And the 2 sisters were never married. There are some photographs around here of that. We stopped at the last trip. He stopped and spent time with them. And there were pictures of Dad at what do you call it? A bar.
Oh, okay.
Hoisting a stein of beer and so on. That was. There were 2 or 3 pictures on the porch of one of these chalet type things.
Okay.
If I find them, we'll get together another time.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
show you
that would be
those
good.
too.
That would be good, because I'd like to, I've never even seen pictures of your parents.
Of my, well, I can get them for you.
You know, if you can,
Oh, there's a picture of it right here somewhere. I think.
let's see, we'll just.
Grandchildren.
Fine, we can just, it'll give us an excuse to get together again, right?
Yeah, right. I bring Paul along.
And I'll bring Paul along, make it when he's not working, that's all he does is work too. But,
He's working with some bakery company now?
yeah, he's still with Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread, yeah. So he's busy all the time. In fact, he was supposed to go fishing this weekend. Well, he said they were going to go up to Rainy River, which the ice isn't even out yet. Well, my son and my brother decided they were still going to go, and Paul said, my mother didn't raise no dummy. I am not going freezing my butt off. So Paul didn't go, but Chris still went, so I don't know.
I was never a fisherman. Frank was something of
Yeah.
a fisherman.
See, my son, well, maybe that's where my son gets it from. Oh my God, he could fish day in and day out. Yeah, I know. My little grandson's going to be a year now on Monday. So I'm trying to, I thought it would be kind of fun to get a little, from all sides of his family, a little family tree thing, too. So, because like I said, I don't know anything on Paul's side of the family at all.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Paul doesn't know anything either, of course.
You're talking to the last living member.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I keep thinking it would be fun if I ever get this all together and then have a little Mueller reunion or something. I said, but Paul, it's really a shame Paul doesn't know any of his cousins,
Yeah. And during the war, Frank he left Loman's and when Mother sold out, and he went with a candle company, and then came the war, and I left town, and I think Frank went to work with a propeller outfit, some war industry.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps what's the suburb south of here?
New Hope?
Huh?
No, what's it called? Not New Hope.
Not
It's,
Hastings.
no, I know it. Newport. Newport?
No,
Newport,
more west from there. Anyway, they were some sort of a war industry, perhaps manufacturing powder or something of that nature. And after the war, he and Fred Young started the Mueller Young, and when I came home I fooled around for a while, and then I got a job, and I went back to St. Thomas in the University Law School, and Frank and Fred talked me into
Now,
joining.
when you're saying Frank, do you mean Paul's dad or your
Yeah.
father? Paul's dad. Okay.
Yeah.
I just knew I got confused.
Yeah, I understand. Well, see,
Because it's two Franks. Okay.
Dad died before the war.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I wanted to
I
clarify.
remember at one point Mother said something about how happy she was, or well, not happy exactly, but at least glad that she didn't see this war on Germany come about
Yeah.
while Dad was living.
Yeah.
But so they got the Mueller Young thing started, and I don't know, they were going a year or so maybe. They talked me into joining them,
Oh, okay.
and we had a couple of locations downtown St. Paul, 3rd Street, and then 4th. 145 East 3rd and 137 East 4th. was in the Catechetical Guild building, which was, Catechetical Guild was run by Father Gales, a diocesan priest who since passed away, as did almost everybody from those days.
Yeah.
And the store went on some tough times, and Fred left and I left, I went out to Twin City Arsenal and worked there for a number of years. And Fred was sort of an independent salesman of church goods. Frank moved the store out to, older brother Frank, moved the store out to 2020 Marshall. A couple of great Jewish landlords, a couple of fellows that were very nice guys. And my time ran out with the Arsenal. Korean War ended and they didn't need our product right away at that point. They closed the plant down pretty much. And Frank and I got together again. I forget just exactly how. What I mean is I don't, did I ask him for a job? No, I didn't ask him for a job. I think maybe Mary Carpenter was going to leave or something. He asked me to take over the bookkeeping and or whatever, in the store sales and so on.
Okay.
So anyway, we got together over the years and worked together for several years. And Frank died at a very early age, 41.
Yeah, no kidding. I know Paul even mentions that once in a while. Well, I really outlived my, his own dad,
Yeah.
So
Well,
in his 50s already. It's like, it's just like he's, so young. No, when you're talking about Fred Young, are you talking, is that Miriam's dad?
Miriam's dad.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I clarify that too.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that they were in business together.
Oh, yeah.
See, I never knew that, because didn't he sell insurance or something?
Fred did, I'm sure, at one time, and then also he ran a 3-2 place over by St. Matthew's Church.
He did?
Yeah, West St. Paul.
Oh, see, I never knew that either. You're even helping me out with both sides of my family here.
I think that's where Frank, to the best of my knowledge, that's where Frank met Miriam.
Really?
Met her, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Miriam's still living, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's doing
Did you
good.
get up to?
I was just up there today.
City,
well, yeah, my dad's still up there,
I see.
And I was just up there today because I had I'm having a shower next weekend. I needed to get the gift up because I can't get up there next weekend, so I ran that up. So I just came back from Pine City today. And in fact, I had coffee with Terry and Mary this morning. They have meet for coffee at 8 o'clock every Saturday at Nichols.
Oh.
So.
Where's Nichols?
It's that
on the highway in between.
It's right on the highway. It's on the corner, right through as you go through town. It's on the left-hand side. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's an off-highway ramp to the right, and I think you have to go around to the left then, don't you?
Yep.
Cross over the highway in the town.
Yeah.
They are, 5 miles from that intersection or something?
I don't even think it's that far.
Well, maybe not. It's been a several years since I've driven that route.
Yeah. I get up there every once in a while.
Anyway,
to see my dad.
Some of the Carol Ann may know, and if not, talk to Miriam. She may know, and you get another interesting stories.
Oh, well,
Other sides of the same story.
Yeah, I know.
After Frank died, Miriam had a very rough time for a while there.
I can about imagine 7 little kids, and I mean, and you know, years ago, they didn't have the help,
And,
so-called help that they do now either, you know. It's a little bit difficult, but I know I've
the
done.
store wasn't in shape to do anything additional.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we kept it going for a while. When we stopped having kids, Ethel joined me at the store. And well, we got a few things going. We made a living on it. We sent, oh heavens, the 7 kids through Cretan and St. Joe's and Durham Hall,
Wow.
St. Joe's Academy. But of course, tuitions were nothing like what they are now.
Oh, I know, aren't they just awful?
You know.
Let's see, there's my ask here. Okay. I need, well, this I'm sure you can answer. When were you born? I figure you ought to know this one.
2/23/22.
23,
2/23/22.
February.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you were born in Chicago. No, you were born where? Here.
Yeah, St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Yes, I'm the honest man.
Okay. And
The others are crooks.
When were you married? What's your marriage?
September 30th, 1950.
Okay. And you got married where?
St. Matthew's Church, West St. Paul.
What's West St. Paul?
Ethel is a West St. Paul.
Oh, she's from West St. Paul.
Yeah, Marthaler.
Oh.
The family name there is Marthaler.
Marthaler.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Marthaler.
Okay, that was going to be my next
That
question.
actually is a very famous name in West St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
Ethel's families or some. Incidentally, Bill Marthaler, the youngest boy in the family, Ethel's younger brother, died Sunday.
Oh, just this last week?
No, Monday. I don't know. No, I don't know. Wednesday morning. Okay, Thursday morning. And he was married a second time. His first wife was a teacher, had a stroke. They lived next to St. Teresa's Church for a number of years, and Lily died, and Bill got remarried to, oh heavens, but that's in-laws, you're not interested in them too much. Anyway, the name is Marthaler, and Jake and his father, Jacob, have been secretary, treasurer, alderman at large, alderman of the first ward, all these different things for heavens, 50, 60 years between them. And her dad is Jake, and I don't recall the name of the grandfather, but he was in poor health, and Jake did his work for him for most of those years. Now they're in West St. Paul. There's a park bears the title of Marthaler Park.
Oh, really?
Named after Jake.
Okay. Oh, George, what's your middle name?
E. Edward.
That's a good name. My brother's name is Edward. And my grandpa was Edward. Ethel, what's Ethel's middle name?
Mary. You notice that George Edward Mueller spells G-E-M. I'd love to write my initials on initial paper.
Jim, that's good, that's good. And Ethel's birthday is?
Um, 4/22/24.
4/22/24, okay.
Date of
You
birth.
better not forget, good thing she's not here. And she was born in West St. Paul then?
St. Joe's Hospital. St. Joe's Hospital? I think so.
What hospital were you born in?
I don't think.
Were you just at home?
Born in the hospital.
Probably
Maybe
at
she
home.
wasn't. I'm not sure now.
But hers is what, just St. Paul then?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow. What's the question?
Where was she born?
Oh, it was St.
West-
Well, damn. Yes, St. Joe's Hospital is in St. Paul, but
Right.
the home was in West St. Paul, so I don't know where she was married, born. I, at the time I was born, the family was living in a apartment building on Dale and Holly, and I
Okay.
think possibly I was born at that apartment.
Okay. Okay, now I need the names of all your kids. I mean, because I don't know any of your kids
Okay.
at all.
George Jr.,
Okay.
Eileen,
What, an E? E-I-L?
Yes.
Okay.
George,
Do they all have names?
Jean,
Jean, okay.
Lois,
Okay.
Jim, John, and David.
Okay. Eileen, did she have a middle name?
Eileen. No, it isn't on the picture, is it? This Eileen.
Oh, that's Eileen, okay.
That's Lois.
Okay.
Now, these two girls passed away some years ago.
Okay, I guess I think I knew that.
Jean,
Okay.
Papa, George, died just
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
George, Jim, John, and David. Jim, John, no, Jim, John, and David.
Okay. Okay, let's see, what else do I need to ask you? So I pulled this stuff up. Pulled this up on the internet. I mean, you can get anybody's, you know, when they died, you can get their social security number, you can get everything on the internet.
Now, which Frank Mueller is this?
Paul's dad.
Ah, okay. You know, 24/7, March 16, sure.
They have lots, believe me, there is lots of Frank Muellers listed. I mean, it's like,
Well, when I was a kid, there were 4 names in the phone book. Mueller.
yeah.
One of them was attorney Albert Mueller, was an attorney for the Loman Company.
Okay.
Nowadays, there's 2 or 3 columns.
Oh, I know.
Jeez.
It's unbelievable, but yeah, so now I just
They
kinda,
must have heard about me, that's why they're all grabbing names.
all your brothers, all the rest of the family was born in Chicago except for you, right?
Yeah, all our kids were in Chicago, born in Chicago.
Okay.
Would you, see, Francis Thomas Mueller, actually.
Oh, is it? I say I didn't know what his middle name was either. Francis Thomas.
Mary Modesta Mueller.
Oh, okay. I knew it was M, but I didn't know what the Modesta. That's different.
Marguerite Marie Mueller, Peggy. The third daughter. Second daughter. Darn it, there were 2 girls and 2 boys.
Yeah. So it's Marguerite.
Probably Margaret,
Margaret.
because she ended up Peggy. Marguerite wouldn't be Peggy, would it?
Probably not.
Be Maggie or some
Mars or
such
something,
thing.
yeah. Okay. Okay, I suppose you don't remember.
Someday when you can't think of anything else to do, I'll take you for a ride out to Calvary Cemetery.
Okay, well, I know I get out there once in a while. Paul and I, we got out there last year.
Have
Memorial Day.
you found the Mueller marker?
It's pretty easy to find. In fact,
Yeah, it's not too difficult. Once
no,
you
it's right
found
along the road. In fact, I took
Well,
Paul out there
close to
last
it.
year, yeah.
There's
And-
a Front Street.
Mhm.
Actually, Front Street goes this way, north-south. This way I think of it as north-south. East-west. If it was north-south, then. All right, east-west. And with inside the cemetery gate,
Mhm.
there's a road here, and then there's a road that comes down
Yeah,
here.
they got a lot of turning
This
roads.
is the one that.
Yeah. The first time I looked for it, I knew what cemetery it was. First time I looked for it, I had my daughter with, and I had no clue even where it was. I didn't even know where it was.
That's the whole problem, you gotta,
Yeah, and so we just drove through and we found it. It was like a fluke that we found it. I had no clue. I had probably been there once. I think when probably Mimi died. I mean, I don't, you know. But otherwise, yeah, so, and I had no clue. And we found it. I mean, we were about ready to give up, and then all of a sudden there it was. It was. So I had to show Dawn where her grandfather was buried and stuff, but, yeah. Yeah, next time we
Yeah,
get
like
together,
that.
see if you can dig out some pictures, and, you know, if I can even borrow some and make copies or something. And look at your parents and.
Yeah, I would, will this, can you run this into the computer and get pictures?
Probably can do that.
Probably,
You can do it, you can do
you
pretty
don't
much
have
anything.
that, step at the present time.
No,
Okay.
but yeah, you can pretty much do anything with the computer nowadays.
I was just gonna say, if you want to, take a picture of that, but I don't
Mhm.
think that, that's about all I can give you, huh?
Okay, well, I mean, that helps a lot, that's more than what I had, you know? And you said that you possibly would have like the dates and stuff. See now, your parents, see, all I've got is the years, because that's all they have on the tombstone.
Yeah.
So I don't have the dates or anything, so I mean,
Well,
I need to
I'll
get
have
them.
to find those cards.
Yeah, if you find them or something, let me know, and, you know, we can,
No, Stella, I had a package of them, oh heavens, 10 or 15 sealed in plastic.
Mhm.
So I got a whole bunch of them somewhere in an envelope in that drawer.
I'm really good at misplacing things all the time. It's like, you know, I use stuff and, but I thought, you know, and see, I've got a program at home. I can put all my family history on this program in the computer. I mean, it's awesome, and you know, you can get all this information on there.
Well, there's a couple of kids, Jack Alani and his wife Elise, very good friends of ours. They had a restaurant and Frank's. They had a restaurant next door to the store when Frank opened up that location. And they were there for several years, and we got to be very good friends. Jack left a key to his store with me, so that when I had a late customer, I could, a priest coming in at 9 o'clock, you know, we'd go over there and have a sandwich or a dish of ice cream or something. And I had to leave some money in their tip bowl, but that was, you know, that good a relationship. And eventually Jack moved on and got a couple of restaurants downtown St. Paul, and now he's retired. So, but my point was that Elise has this stuff on the computer too. And I wonder if you have different programs, if you would, I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you sometime about it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, I've done this. I've worked on genealogy probably since the early 70s. I've done, you know, like my family, and it was, of course, it was a lot harder back then because I did all the grunt work because they didn't have computers back then either. Now the computers kind of help a little bit.
Well, they probably didn't have programs. They
didn't have programs, and 70s. There was no computers. Not.
You know, originally I had one of those Texas Instruments.
Okay.
They were Texas, and somebody else had these almost toys. Now we consider them toys.
Oh, okay.
And incidentally, once more,
no, this is fine. This is fine.
And I learned how to write a couple programs, math, and I lured the little grandchildren up to my bedroom, up to the back room in the house I used for a computer room, and make them solve the problems I had worked out on the computer.
Wow. Wow. Oh, this kind of helps a lot. Anyway, I mean, whatever you gave me has really helped, you know. But, because I thought, you know, like Peggy, I thought maybe I can get a hold of her daughter. I ran into her daughter, Mary Jo.
Oh, yeah.
I was at this was, oh gosh, a couple of years ago. I kept saying we were going to get together. She lives like in Burnsville, not far from us. I would work at the airport.
How did you first?
Well, you know, at the airport they ask for, and I had no clue who she was. I mean, I don't even know if I even met her before. But she was checking in. She was going on a flight. So of course I looked at her driver's license. It said Mary Jo Zuli. And I said, my husband's related to some Zulis. I mean, you know, the name's not that common, you know. And I said, who's your mom and dad? You know, and of course she told me, and I go, I said, my gosh, my husband's Paul Mueller. She just about died. So then, after I got done checking in, everybody went over to where they were gonna board their plane, and then I sat and visited with her for a while. And anyway, it was just so funny. I mean, just small world, you know. You run into the darndest people. But yeah, so
well, that's I don't understand. It's a touchy situation, I guess, but I've tried to call Mary Jo a couple times since Beck died, and she doesn't talk to me.
Oh, that's.
She leaves a message with her husband and Jack. Actually, she's married. Her name isn't.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
I think she must kept her maiden name because she was with him. You know.
Jack.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is either.
Peroski or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, well, that's too bad. I mean, I don't know. My feeling is life's too short to be having grudges or whatever, you know. I don't know.
Mary Jo, I think, doesnto go to church anymore, or it's Catholic church, and she should, but she wasn't having a burial mass for Peg.
Yeah, we did, I
talked
don't,
to
we
her.
never went, and I can't figure out why we didn't go. I think,
I talked to her pastor, and he set up in fact, her pastor's the guy was ordained bishop later. Yeah, I don't like the look of him. He's got a real bushy mustache here.
so what do you think about all this stuff going on in the
Well,
Catholic Church?
I mean,
Oh, God, it's like,
But anyway, he's apparently a nice guy. A lot of people speak very highly of him. But and he arranged with his ladies' aid group or something that they had a sort of a memorial service. And a which was a mass and so on. But her kids are fantastic. Well, the two boys.
wasn't one I think's in Colorado or somewhere? I think he was, I know when I talked to Mary Jo.
Was a big shot in the #1 man in the television Minnesota Twin Cities South or something like that, some section of the Twin Cities television. Then they some part of the Twin Cities television joined someplace else. And he left them, and the next thing I heard, he was in Denver, and Sister Jean came from Denver. She had Fred Crapo out there, had raised a family. It was Stella's brother, not Fred, Fred. What was his name? Jeez. Fred Walter. Fred. Chicago. Walter St. Paul. God, I can't even think of his name now. But anyway. The boy in the family my age, Chuck, I stopped off there on the way overseas in an airplane flight, and took them all to dinner at a club out there, and well, we had, but anyway, that's another part of the Crapo family. So, I'm sorry, there doesn't seem to be anything additional I can.
No, that's fine. You gave me a lot, though. I've got a lot. So you don't know when Peg was born, do you?
She was, yeah, let me see, if I was 22, she must have been 20 or 21. Or she's about
Well, I can call
18
Mary
months
Jo,
younger
too.
than I am.
Okay, I can call Mary Jo to get that information.
And she's buried incidentally at the Zuli gravesite, which is just to the right of ours, a couple hundred yards.
Oh, so it's in the same cemetery?
Yeah.
Oh.
A couple hundred yards.
Okay.
And identified from the road by a statue of St. Anthony in a monument.
Okay, so it's over towards the Mueller somewhere.
Well, yeah. If you were standing on that same road that goes by Mueller, it would be about 200 yards maybe to the right of the Mueller one, and in maybe 10, 15 yards further in from the road.
I'll have to maybe check that out. Yeah.
And you go along the road, you'll see back a ways this marker, a ruddy marker with a white statue of St. Anthony, I believe. Is he a famous Italian saint?
I think so, something like that. Wow.
And I've got a 4-grave plot at the other cemetery in Mendota.
Mendoza.
Resurrection
Oh, okay.
and Lexington Avenue.
Oh, okay.
And these 2 girls are there. And then there's an open gravesite at Front Avenue.
Oh, okay.
And
At Calvary, you mean?
apparently we're gonna put George there when his wife gets around to it. Things are done differently nowadays than what I was familiar with, but
Now, if you don't mind me asking, now how did your 2 daughters die? They were pretty young.
yeah. Lois was a brittle diabetic from about the 6th grade on.
Okay.
And she became a nurse. She was practicing, if you call it that, at the county hospital, Ramsey County Hospital.
Okay.
There's a name for it now. It used to be whatever. And Eileen had moved with a girlfriend of hers down to Florida, and they were teaching school, or Eileen was teaching school, and her friend, can't remember the lady's name, the girl's name, but they met over at Normandale.
Oh, okay.
And they went down to Florida, and the other girl was going to school for accounting. And then Eileen went into accounting, and she had got breast cancer, and they went to Texas because as I've heard more recently, the benefits for cancer's patients was they took better care of their cancer patients in Texas.
Oh, really?
Florida apparently had a poor record and that sort of thing. They didn't have the best hospitals and so on. So Eileen had breast cancer, and she was teaching in Texas, and eventually wasn't able to teach, and she died.
Oh.
Yeah. But most of these kids are Pegs. Peg has had about 4 or 5 kids, and John has 2, one natural and one adopted. And George had 2 natural kids, one who's named Paul.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed. You know, I felt so bad. There were so many people there that night, and we got lost getting there for one thing. And so we got there a little bit late, so we didn't really even get a chance to talk to George's wife. There was just, mobs of people. By the time we got there, they wanted to start the service right away. And so we never. And then Paul and I both had to get up the next morning, like 2 a.m. So.
Oh, I remember. I spoke to both.
Yeah, we talked to you, but
Yeah.
I felt bad we didn't get a chance to really talk to a lot of people,
Now, just so I don't get weepy again, this was, these were left with at the wake. Tribute
Make sure I
to
got this
George.
on right here. Yeah, he sounded like he was a wonderful young man. I mean, it was just such a wonderful. I mean, it just, I wish I would have been able to know him. I mean, he just seemed like a very wonderful.
I worked with him on a couple of occasions. I did a Santa Claus for him at his December meetings for about 3-4 years, 4 or 5 years, till it got the better of me and I couldn't stand up long enough to do it.
Yeah.
And that incidentally is part of the reason I don't remember any of this stuff. I had a stroke back in '80, and
Okay.
very mild, you know, but it's affected my recollection
This
of
is
some of this stuff.
beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Gosh.
Yeah, I thought so. I had some copies made, and for our kids. And,
Yeah. Oh, this is really nice. Where'd you have it on the table over here? I'll walk around here.
all the
Very nice.
what the heck? Jean has about 5 or 6 kids. I don't recall exactly.
Oh, okay.
And one of them, they've all gone to school at, what do you call that, preschool,
Montessori school?
schools. And this, the present the baby now,
Okay.
biblical names. Noah. And I'm not sure which one is Noah. I used to,
So how many grandkids do you have then?
Huh?
How many grandkids do you have in total?
13, I believe.
Wow.
But how can that be? If she had 6, 8, 10, 12. Anyway, Jean was married earlier to a fellow named Martin Ludden.
Okay.
And they had a kid, Martin, and he's got a girlfriend here.
Oh.
He's graduated from Creighton. He's got in a couple of years at St. Thomas. He's taking a year off at this point.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then and some years later, Jean married Michael Wright and got an annulment, married Michael Wright, and she has 1, 2, oh, Dave has John has 3, 4 kids, 4
Okay.
kids.
So which one
And
was
he's
your?
left his wife.
Okay. Oh.
I tell you.
Yeah, Paul and I are gonna be married 32 years coming up. I can't believe we've been married.
I wish we had a chance to. We celebrated our 50th anniversary a while back and had a dinner party at the Officers Club at Fort Snelling.
Oh, okay.
And we had just short of 100 people there.
Wow. Yeah.
I wish we had known you folks better at that time.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, Paul's family's so big, there's just, so many of them, and it's like, seems like we're always going to something. See, and I've only got 2 brothers, so.
There were, Oh, we used to make a joke of couples that had a kid, them and their ones.
They're one. Oh, I don't think that's right to have just one
There was
kid.
a joke about that. The Irish lady went to confession, and she had a heck of a family, and she was always getting mad at him, and the priest said, you should model yourself after the Holy Family, and she said, ah, them and their ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I think big families are wonderful. And of course, nowadays it's pretty hard. It's hard to support big families. It's not like it used to be.
It's actually, it's,
Yeah.
I can't imagine, well, darn it. What the hell, I think we paid 15-20 cents for a pound of butter.
Uh-huh.
And,
Well, see, everybody used to have gardens years ago too, you know, I mean,
yeah, I guess it was a great deal.
and my whole family, they all came from, farming. Everybody was a farmer, so,
Oh, yeah.
you just raise the kids and the cows and the, and the gardens and and you can always have big families. In fact, there's one, side of my family, they have 16 kids. They were all good Catholics.
Oh, well, yeah, that is more apt to happen with, I hope, Jean Ann. This camera is running, is it?
Yeah, you want me to turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that. Let me see here.